So I'm going to make the famous pumpkin knot rolls in our cookbook that we have that Mom put together quite a while ago now, and there's been some serious talk about updating the cookbook recipe book, but that's okay. You can still get the original one. There's about 150 recipes in the book, and they're great. So what I have in my bread maker is a cup of pumpkin. I'm going to add 2 eggs, some yeast, a cup of warm milk, butter and margarine, and the flour and everything else to make it go. So first up, I got the pumpkin in. I'm going to add my warm milk and yeast. I've had this sitting for a little bit, so it's kind of had a chance to start getting active. I mean, it is active dry yeast, but we give it a little head start here. I added a little bit of sugar to it so it would help make it go faster. Pour that in here. And get that off to the side. And I'm going to need a couple of eggs, which I have right here. I've split them out earlier. 2 eggs. I'm just going to break them up a little bit. Pour that in too. I need about a half a cup of sugar, and I'm going to use real maple syrup that we make here on the farm, but about just under half a cup in. Because remember, I already put a little bit in the other one there. Syrup's good. So sugar, when the bread recipe calls for sugar, you can use traditional white sugar, which is standard, or you can use brown sugar, or you can use maple syrup, or honey, even molasses. I'm going to put this guy over here out of my way now. Get me a clean spoon, because I need to put me some butter in, or in this case, a little bit of margarine, lard. I need about a third a cup, and I've been at this long enough that looks like about a third a cup. So everything's all in here in the bottom. I'll show you in a second. Let me get this off with my clean spoon. I'm gonna need that later. We'll just put that there. And I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna get you over here to show you what it looks like ahead of time. It's pretty gross looking right now, but I'm just gonna stir it a little bit. Just kind of gives it a little stir. My kids normally do that. So we're gonna keep doing that for a little bit, about 3 minutes or so. But now that it's all mixed up a little bit, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the flour. A little bit at a time. I had measured out about 5 cups or so. The recipe calls for about 5 or 6 cups. I would highly recommend using like a sifter to get that correct amount, because flour can compact it on down in. We'll hold on a second, we'll make this less squeaky. I'm gonna use an old trick here. Get this all back together again now. There we are. Tighten her up. Put that down in. That's what my thing's for. There we go. All better. Look at that. That's amazing. Mix it a little bit. My 100-year-old machine's a little worn out, so things hit back and forth. I might adjust it a little bit. It's really easy. I can just stir in one finger. My kids, as they're younger, they're usually helping out, but they're busy right now, so they're not hanging around. Something about being outside, and the clouds are coming in, so I expect them to come in shortly. But the fun part of all of this, I'll get yelled at, I'm sure. The fun part of all of this is I can just keep on going. Add a little bit more. I got more flour if I need it. But we're gonna keep on stirring and stirring and stirring. I'll get a picture in there. There it is. Yeah. It's gonna stir and stir and stir. It's all mixing it all up. I keep showing it to you, but it's kind of hard to hold that video and stuff back together. So, a little bit about the bread maker and the history. Landers, Frary, and Clark were based in Connecticut, and they needed a way for everybody without power back in 1902 to be able to make things in a clean, slightly sanitary environment. I mean, as you notice, I'm mixing this bread up and my fingers are not getting covered in grossness. That is the worst part about making bread, and I think that's why a lot of people don't make it anymore. It's because they think they have to use it and knead it by hand. I'm actually kneading it right now. I'll show you in a little bit here what it's changed into. There it is there again. See how it's already changing? And there we go. My high-tech computer technology here. A few more minutes, I'll stirs or something. About 3 minutes total is what it takes to mix it all up. Need a little bit more flour. Maybe not. Just a touch. Not a whole lot though. A lot of times making bread, it's the flour that you use, the amount, and that's why a lot of times it says 5 to 6 cups or 10 to 12, or it's got a range of flour, because what the difference is in the environment and day to day. It all depends on how the gluten in the flour develops and processes. Now, sometimes it doesn't take anywhere near as much flour. Other times, you feel like all you do is add flour. You're looking for a certain consistency in the flour, for it to be kneaded and dry. Here, I'll get this in here. It's starting to ball up now. I'm almost there. Let's see, we'll go like this. And let me get a better handle on it. There we go. So, you can see here how the dough is. I mean, it's very nice and sticky. It's actual dough that's needed. So actually, it's just about right. It's just the right consistency. I'm gonna give it a couple more stirs. Get a nice uniform ball right in there. I mean, it forms it on its own. There it goes. It's really nice because of the kneader, it kind of automatically forms and you know it's all done mixing up. Now, like I said with the flour and your consistency and your amounts, it depends on how much pumpkin you use, because pumpkin has varying textures and mixtures and everything else. We'll put this lid on and we're gonna let it sit. That's it. My bread is ready to rise. Loaded up and ready to